Bandwidth for First Updates Now is supported by AndyMark. Are you competition ready? Go to andymark.com and keep your team inspired. And by the Blue Alliance. Keep up to date on all live and archived First Robotics events and team stats at thebluealliance.com. First Updates Now is brought to you by viewers like you. Fun relies on the generous support of our fans in order to continue to keep creating content. Please consider donating, giving bits, or subscribing. Subscribe for a few bucks a month or for free through Twitch Prime. And don't forget that our subscribers get 5x chance to win on all giveaways. Hey, I'm muted. What a great way to start. Tyler has muted himself one time. See, it's not fair because I produced the last show, so then I muted myself. Should we start again, guys?
Let's do it.
Let's
All right.
take it from the top.
3, 2. Coming up on the FRC Top 25 and recap, team trailers are being stolen. We'll recap international events from week 1, and of course count down the top 25 teams in FRC as voted by nearly 300 members of the Fun and First community. Reporting for First Updates Now, I'm Tyler Rolds.
And I'm Mike Stark.
I'm Justin Montoys.
And I'm Pauline Teskey. Christine has the night off.
So we have a fantastic giveaway tonight, courtesy of FRC 1720, the Fixed Gears, which they've been doing all season long so far, who are the creators of the Bat Hawk. So one winner near the end of the show will receive a 4-pack of these awesome devices that instantly let you know if your battery has the voltage for your next match. To win, make sure you follow or subscribe and type in a specific keyword when prompted. Don't forget that subscribers get 5 times luck on drawings, and you can subscribe for free through Prime. Amazon Prime, or just for a few bucks a month. If you're not watching live, you can still subscribe, or we welcome donations. If you don't mind skipping that cup of coffee, the donation link is in our description.
Or you can get coffee and donate. You don't
Okay.
have to get the cup of coffee. So normally when we have a guest on the show, it's under better circumstances. But today, we really want to help bring attention to an unfortunate circumstance. It's kind of actually gotten a little bit better, but that took place at the Utah Regional this weekend. So team 115 MVRT had the robot trailer stolen with the robot inside and other equipment. So while the trailer and robot have been found, they still certainly need our help. So please welcome MVRT mentor Ryan Lee to help tell their story. Ryan's a first veteran going all the way back to his days in FLL team in 2003. Began entering MVRT in 2006 and also spent some time with Team 751. Started volunteering and reffing in 2013 and will be the head referee this year's Central Valley Regional. His day job is also pretty sweet, where he's a software systems engineer with Yahoo working on machine learning. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
So,
that's
that's all right. So, we just want to say, first off, we're so happy to hear that the robot's been found, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But Pauline, let's go a bit into kind of what went on to start off with.
I mean, Ryan, this just straight up sucks. It's really scary to lose a trailer, especially under that circumstance at a regional. We don't need to discuss all the background, but what can you tell us about the trailer being stolen and what your team will have to go through to be ready to compete at your Week 5 event in Idaho?
So as you know, the situation has been kind of evolving over the past, 12, actually the last hour. The trailer was fully loaded after the competition on Saturday night, and it was stolen out of the hotel parking lot that evening. From the review of the security cameras, we can tell that it was 12:15 a.m. And the craziest part about it is that we had some California kids playing out in the blizzard that was starting literally at midnight before we sent them all to bed. So they could have been in the parking lot and been de-hitching it from our mentor's trailer and hitching it to their stolen vehicle, and while our students were out there. So we're just really happy that the students were safe and nobody was harmed. Obviously, tools are replaceable, people are not. So in terms of what has kind of evolved out of the situation is that our trailer was found late yesterday afternoon. We have a picture up right now. The trailer basically had everything. It had all of our pit set up. It had our batteries. It had our robot. And as you can see, it pretty much had nothing left in it when we found it. It just was the battery cart and, a couple pieces of stock. And then about 2 hours ago, we found out from an Instagram post that the robot had been found. Literally, it was an Instagram post. Our mentor has since been in contact with the West Valley Police Department to get more information. But this guy just had posted on his Instagram tagging us saying, interesting start to the day, found a high school robotics team's robot in my front yard.
That's nuts, by the way. I just want to say, it's just randomly comes in. You don't even hear from the police right away or anything like that. Somebody just posts yeah, I found a robot. Let's just post about it on Instagram, right?
Yeah, it shows you the power of social media. It's honestly a little terrifying how powerful it is. But, those are the three guys who found it. The police unbagged it completely. When they found it, the bag was cut. And from what in a short interaction with the guy on Instagram, he told us that the bag had been cut, it was on the lawn, and it appeared as if some wires had been cut as well. So we have no idea what the status of the robot is at this point in terms of, is it drivable? Can we safely plug a battery into it right now? But, just getting the hardware back is so huge.
Mm-hmm.
So looking, from you guys, as we talk about, you found the robot, right? But before you found the robot today, you were in contact with Frank in Manchester to talk about alternatives and options, because at this point you guys were looking at building a whole new robot, right?
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about what was kind of worked out between you guys and First, because I think it was something that was worked out pretty well for everybody. And then obviously I don't think you've been in contact with Frank yet or Manchester yet since you found your robot, or if you have, let us know. But what do you kind of see happening past that?
So we haven't had any return signal from HQ in Manchester, but we have told them what we know so far, which is basically all the information that I just said, the Instagram post, and potentially we'll be in contact very soon based on the information that we received from the West Valley Police Department. Our mentor is currently actually driving back out to Utah. He had already driven back to go pick up the trailer and pick up the robot. So, Mr. Ilnick, if you're watching this, good luck with that drive. Please stay safe. I know that it's still snowing out there.
Is he doing that drive alone out there too?
He did the drive back as a group with another person, but I actually have no idea if he's going alone. In terms of what our initial interaction with HQ was, it was absolutely amazing. We didn't even really need to reach out. We talked with the RD for Utah and I believe Idaho, and one of our mentors, who is also a safety advisor, had reached out to some LRIs, and all those messages got back to Frank, and Frank sent us, just an amazing email saying, "Don't worry about bag and tag. You guys have all the permission in the world to work on your robot up until Idaho. Bring it there unbagged. Build your replacement robot. We want you to compete." And it's just another example of Frank just being an amazing member of the First community and really knowing how to handle these situations and help teams. It's just one of the many reasons why I think Frank is one of the best things to happen to First in the past 5 to 10 years, as long as I've been in it.
Yeah, I think you hit it on the nail right there. Like, we've seen Frank kind of intervene in situations like this and other kinds of situations, and we're just so glad that Frank is a part of FRC and what he's been doing and how he advocates really hard for teams. And I think he represents us all when we're more than willing to do this for you guys, and you guys, it's just, this sucks, and everybody would be willing to give you guys that extra mile. So you guys have set up a fundraising campaign to kind of set up for those who would be gracious enough to help support your team. So where can they go, and is there anything else other firsters can do to kind of help support your team? And then now that the robot is back, are there any other tools or anything that are still lost?
Yeah, so the big loss from this is just the tools. We're a very low number team. This is our 21st year in FIRST. And so those tools have been really built up over 21 years. It's an investment each year that you make into the team. And so that's really the biggest loss from this situation. We're obviously putting together a list of what we need that has kind of changed really in the past 2 hours. So, we no longer need to machine a completely new robot. And that was the biggest kind of pain point and thing that people would come and offer to help us with. But we're still definitely missing tools, and we still will need to machine some replacement parts, I'm sure. So we will eventually be reaching out to the teams that have reached out to us. So if you're interested in donating tools and other types of support, feel free to reach out to us at mvrt@mvrt.com, and we'll be sending out an email listing, what type of tools we're looking for and need to get our robot ready for Idaho, as well as, if people are willing to donate tools more permanently, what type of tools we're looking for, because I know that, every single one of our crimpers was in there. All of our riveters, our compressor, our pneumatic riveter, everything like that was all in there.
So we know that the power of the FRC community can be huge. So everyone watching, you got to help out this team, help us spread the word. Even if you can't, for any number of circumstances, donate. At least help spread the word, spread that link, and let's make sure that 156 is stronger than they ever were after this unfortunate event. Yeah. So Ryan, thanks so much for coming on the show tonight, sharing your story. And again, I just can encourage everyone to help out and get you guys back up and running all over again.
So I just wanted to share a quick couple lessons learned that we had throughout this process, because I think that'd be really helpful for a lot of other teams. And so the first thing was, you got to go wide and tall. So social media, every single platform that we had an account on was something that we were pushing. We reached out to, without us even doing anything, the local news picked up the story, and from there it was way easier for us to pick up more news stations. So in fact, tonight there's a piece running by ABC7 that's national. So we have some parents who saw it in Las Vegas. I think it'll be on at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock tonight. At least that's West Coast. There is a great Chief Delphi post by Ether about a couple of things that teams can do. GPS trackers, they're super cheap. You can buy subscription plans for a couple bucks. And we're definitely going to invest in those in the coming days, and especially for Boise. The insurance issue is a little different. So typically trailers are covered by homeowners insurance. And we had double checked with the driver and his homeowner's insurance to make sure that it was covered. And initially they had said yes. However, our insurance claim is being denied because the driver, does not own the stuff that was stolen. Right. So it would have covered the trailer if it had been stolen, but it would not have covered the contents. And so that's one of the reasons we've been fundraising as opposed to just relying on the insurance claim. And then I think the other mistake that the team made, and this is really not our fault, and it's not something that you have complete control over when something like this happens, is we should have downplayed the cost of the robot. An early article misquoted, an early article took a value that was a quote from a mentor in an interview, but the mentor had misspoken, and he had said that the robot was worth $50,000 as opposed to an early estimate of the things in the trailer, and the trailer itself was at $50,000. And so in previous times that this has happened, the team has been able to recover their robot because they leave it in the trailer because they don't see a value in it. In this case, we weren't quite able to that didn't happen. They may have abandoned it for who knows whatever reason. Maybe it's hard to transport. Maybe they saw the media reports. But If this happens to your team, make sure to kind of downplay the cost of the robot and the value of the robot, because it'll significantly increase the chances of you at least recovering that piece.
That makes sense. Very cool. So again, Ryan, thank you so much for just being on the show tonight. I think you've just educated us a lot on what happened and then how to prevent this in the future. So thanks again, and we look forward to seeing how you guys bounce back from this. And thanks again for all your volunteering and everything you do for FIRST.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of teams at Central Valley, and of course, Monte Vista looks forward to competing against everybody at the Boise, Idaho Regional in a couple weeks.
Perfect.
All right.
Very good.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, man.
See ya.
So we're going to just leave the donation screen up real quick while that transitions. So, guys, make sure you go and check this out for donations. And make sure you check them out at the Idaho Regional. Actually, it's something I don't think we've fully released yet, but Fun will be actually broadcasting the Idaho Regional, so make sure you check that out. We'll make sure we it will be on Fun's the primary channel will be on First Updates now, so make sure you check that out, because it's going to be a fantastic event, and there's a lot of great teams, and we really hope that 115 is able to put together a good showing, and it would just even make a showing based on what's going on for that. So let's move on here. Before we get to the FRC Top 25, we have one more segment for you here called the FRC International Recap. So recently we started a new initiative, the Break Event Recaps, up into several different regions with the local hosts, and to really give as many events as much as attention as they really deserve. But we can't get to all of them. But in North America, we do have 6 different shows, including one in Mexico that's fully in Spanish. So if you know Spanish, go check that out. It's pretty cool. I don't, but just the enthusiasm that they bring is pretty spectacular. It's actually entertaining. I have no clue what they're saying during the show. They just have these like producer cues in that say, "Tyler, play this," while my cursor's on it, and that's the way it goes. And it's so cool though, because the enthusiasm they bring is so much fun. They start on Monday, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. They run in 30-minute blocks all the way through 10:30 p.m. Eastern. We also do have a First Australia show with hosts from Australia. That's going to be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Sydney time, which is 11 p.m. Eastern on Friday if you're in the U.S. So Saturday, 3 p.m. Sydney. U.S. 11 p.m. Eastern Friday, so make sure you check that out. That's still not going to cover every event, though, and we know that. So our good friend and host of the Aussie Recap, Jezer from 4613, Barker Redbacks, Justin's favorite team there, will be putting together international recap each week to help tell the stories of what's going on with these teams. So with that said, we do have a really cool video put together by Jezer, so let's go ahead and take a look.
Hello. Welcome to Fun International. I'm Jezer Becker, and once a week I'll be here talking about the FRC international teams. If you're there wondering who are these people, basically we are all those people that get a little bit annoyed when they need to go to championship every year and watch things like this.
At this year's first National Robotics Championship.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
And now, our Week 1 recap. Last week we had events in 2 countries, Mexico with the Regional de Monterrey, and in Canada we had the Montreal Regional and 2 Ontario District events. For a complete analysis on these events, don't forget to watch our local region recaps. Also this week, we had 9 teams from 6 different countries competing in North America. So let's start with Team 7081 from Shenyang, China. They went to Central New York Regional, but now they are going back to China with the highest Rookie Seed Award, the Rookie All-Star Award, and the regional winners. But the best award they got this week is the Fun International Luckiest Team of the Week Award, because they not only won the event, but they won just playing 1 match, as they were the backup for First Alliance in final match number 2. Another team at this event was Team 4253, Grade 0 from Taipei, Taiwan, which right now is one of the best teams in Asia. With a solid autonomous and a reliable elevator arm, they end up ranked 2nd and went to eliminations as one of the favorites to win the event. Unhappily, they fell short at semifinals, and now they go directly to Sydney, where they will meet Barker, 3132, and many others in the Australian Southern Cross Regional. Now moving on to Utah Regional, where Team 2576 Corazón de Chileno from Santiago, Chile, got their championship spot winning the Regional Chairman's Award. Another team to qualify to champs via Charmers Award was Team 4481 Rembrandts from Netherlands. You definitely know this team from their amazing review video, and since they got eliminated on quarterfinals at Palmetto Regional, the next opportunity to see them in action is next week as they go straight to Orlando. And now we move to Festival de Robotics Montreal Regional. This event's probably the best regional event these days, right? They have the best light show, live music, things from all over the world, and an amazing Canadian-French atmosphere. We had 3 international teams qualifying for champs from Montreal. Team 5553 Rebellion from France won the Regional Engineering Inspiration Award. The Brazilian team 6902 Strike won the Rookie All-Star Award. And Team 1772, the Brazilian Trailblazers, after the great season they had last year when they won Southern Cross and got finalists the South Pacific Regional, this year at Montreal, they got Woodflowers Award with Ezequiel Moraes Ferreira, Charmans Award, and just lost the final match, getting Finalist Award. Looks great, right? Everything was fine until this happened.
So what happened in that match, as you probably saw, was the score continued to increment after t=0, and so we didn't see with our own eyeballs or remember accurately what the score was at the end of that final match. So as a result, we had people back at first watch that match several times to confirm and make sure that they understood what that score was when the match ended. Also got confirmation from the director of the program that that was legitimate information that we could use to determine the winner of that match. So before we announce the winner of the match, I want to apologize for the drama and thank you for your patience. The winner of match final number 3 is the Red Alliance with a score of 393 to 278. Congratulations.
Wait a second. So first used a video to define the result of a match. I thought this was illegal. But anyway, let's say that it's not illegal the way they did. If they watched this match so many times like they said, why they actually didn't see the fact that, for example, none of the climbs were counted in. As you can see here, the score jumps 100 points in 10 seconds in favor of the Red Alliance, while the human player desperately tried to enable the levitate. I watched this match so many times and I still believe the Red Alliance really won the match. So, congratulations to Team 359 Hawaiian Kids, 3990 Tech for Kids, and 6869 Gladiators. So that's it. This is what I have for tonight. Thanks for watching. Back to you guys.
Great video, and I honestly can't wait to see these each week. If you want more discussion about the last topic at the Montreal Regional, stick around for Fun After Dark starting at 10:30 p.m. Eastern and 7:30 Pacific, the time zone that matters.
Oh, ouch.
I think what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to talk to the Spanish and French teachers in my district and be like, hey, have your students watch this and do like a little assignment on it. Like, give me a little write-up about it. That'd be pretty cool.
That's a really good idea. All right, so that will be a great topic of discussion for Fun After Dark. So make sure you tune in for that. It's going to be great. That's coming up after us. So we are ready for the top 25, and it is great to be back for another year. We were just trying to figure out how long Justin and I have been doing this, and we couldn't remember. So
I just had a spoiler right there. If anybody didn't see it, oops. Number 11 just got shown. Whoopsie.
Come on, dude.
I know.
All right.
Scrub right here.
This week, I think this is our best ever. We received nearly 300 votes from the community. And if you're interested in voting who you think are the top 25s in FRC each year and each week, make sure you check out, for each past years, make sure you check out our website at firstupdatesnow.com, our Facebook page, or Chief Delphi. So for this year, voting is going to open at 7 p.m. Eastern on Sunday, and that's going to run through 7 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So that's 24 hours that you get to get your selections in time. This is kind of the shortest window we've ever had for this. Just allows us to get ready for our shows. But that being said, again, we had nearly 300 people vote this week, and that's incredible.
And we closed it earlier than usual. That's awesome.
Yeah,
it's so cool.
Absolutely. So just kind of a little rundown of how this works is So we take your votes. We get rid of the ones that are obviously fakes and are ineligible to be voted for teams that have not competed. So that's the important thing that we changed a couple years ago is you can only vote for teams that compete in that week. So we compile all those votes. We have a ranking system that does that, and then it spits out the top 1 through however many teams we get. And from there, then we kind of do write-ups about each team, and we talk about them here. Justin, do you want to add anything else to that about how this works?
No, it's a great rundown. I just can't thank everyone again for voting. If you didn't, if we don't have any votes, we don't have a show. So 300
Absolutely.
voters is really incredible. I think when I started this in 2011, I think it was, to have like 20, 30, 40 submissions.
Mm-hmm.
So to have 300 is really impressive.
Yeah.
So before we get started, I just wanted to mention that we also have some brand new apparel available from First Style, including an option for your team to grab a shirt that lets everyone know that your team was featured in the top 25. We're trying to keep those costs as low as possible for these customized shirts. Shipping is a flat $5 to the U.S. and Canada, so go ahead and order them for your whole team. International shipping is also available. You can find our apparel on the link at FirstUpdateStown.com or by going to Shop First Style.
Yeah, it's like First Style all in one word. Yeah, I know.
Shop First Style. Shop First Style.
Or if you're a robot like Justin, it will just go like that. So
I updated the firmware on my router today too, so I wonder if that's having a negative effect.
All right, but yeah, guys, go check that out. Brand new site, we're happy for First Style to be on board with this. They've been really cool setting this up, and we can't wait for you guys to hopefully get some of our merch. Really quick thing on that, we have quite literally set these prices like as low as possible from the supplier. We're really trying to keep them low. We just want you guys to wear our stuff because we think it's dope.
Yeah, for sure. It's so great. When Justin and I are at championship or at regionals and seeing people, wear the First Updated Now stuff or the FRCTop25 stuff is just so awesome for us. So hopefully made, some shirts this year that are just apply to so many people, and you can, Justin just said his computer is connected to his phone hotspot. So there you go.
Wow.
Unfortunately, is pretty good in Rocky.
I can fix it, but I have to sign off. So that's
honestly, that's kind of impressive that it's like.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
BRB.
Well, you can.
So while he's doing that,
shirts.
what kind of? What's that?
I said we can just look at our shirts the whole time.
Yeah, so there you go. So you kind of, there's just a shirt up there that says my team was featured on the FRC Top 25. We just have some generic ones. And so if you want to support fun, again, just there's a little bit of kickback that comes back to us just to keep the show running, and just a great way to.
It's like $2 or something like that.
Yeah, it's like nothing. So
you're saying I can't retire?
Nope, sorry.
You could buy guac on that Chipotle burrito, though.
That's okay.
There you go.
Or I can get that cup of coffee and donate.
There you go. Somebody asked, by the way, yes, it is $5 shipping to Canada as well. So I can't guarantee what shipping is for other ones, but $5 shipping to Canada.
For Canada.
All right. So before we get into the top 25, we do want to introduce and welcome and thank our very special guest tonight, Pauline, who will be helping us read the countdown tonight. So Pauline, thank you so much for helping us out. It's so great to have just another person with us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Cool. So Tyler's going to be kind of producing in the background, but he will be chiming in time to time as well. So we'll do the 25 through 11 teams. We'll take a break there at 10. We'll start our giveaway there. We'll kind of talk about a couple of things anybody wants to talk about, and then we'll do 10 through 1. Okay. Questions from anybody?
No.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Good. All right. So that being said, I think we're going to kick it off with the 25th ranked team.
I know that's me. I just got to pull up my slideshow. So how is this going to work? Am I going to read the whole thing?
Yeah.
I don't really like that. So Mike's going to say the number, or someone else going to say the number, and
all right, we could do that. So our 25th ranked team is 1918.
From Fremont, Michigan, and the Newaygo County Regional Educational Service Agency is the NC Gears. Record of 18-1 overall, with winners the Traverse City District event. So 1918 found themselves sitting atop the rankings and happy after struggling last year to obtain a district win. So their impressive triple climb enabled them to gain an additional ranking point, or 4 ranking points, in 3 of their qualification matches, which really helped ensure them the top seed. So 1918 has been a top 25 mainstay for years, and it's great to start off the first week in 2018 talking about the NC Gears. So congrats.
Yeah, you nailed it, Justin. We've been talking about the NC Gears for years and years now, so it's really no surprise that they're making their way again. here in the top 25. So congratulations to them. And thank you to Caltran for going to keep us updated, I think, in the chat.
Yeah, that's what I use that a lot. Like I would go back and like, wait, who was it? Let me go find what Caltran posted last.
Exactly.
All right, so I'm sorry, Mike. What did you do? You want? So I finished it. So I'm going to read this one.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We're just working out. This is the yearly kink working outing.
Yearly week 1 kinks.
Yeah. It wouldn't be the FRC Top 25 without awkward pauses.
If Nick is watching, this is what happens when you don't produce, by the way.
We're the dead air kids.
Yes, we are.
All right, so from 25 to 24, we have team number 1325.
From Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and Gordon Graydon Memorial Secondary School, it's Inverse Paradox with a 2018 record of 14-4. They were the finalists at the Georgian College District event. So Inverse Paradox entered the power-up season looking to take home their first robot medal since the North Bay Regional in 2016. At the Georgian College District event, they finished 4th overall. They went doing that by going 10-2, and they would captain their own alliance from that 3rd seed. Winning in absolute blowouts in the quarterfinals and the semis, they would lose by a little less than 100 points in finals match 1, and then only by 4 points in finals match 2. So they walked away with the finalists there. Congrats to them, and then congrats on the district chairman's award as well for Inverse Paradox at this event. So Justin, this is our first Kling Bling of the season.
Love
it. Was a 1325 to Inverse Paradox.
Should that be our next set of emotes? By the way,
that's a good idea.
That's what I suggested. A Kling Bling emote, I think, definitely has to be our next one.
So how many subscribers we need? We need math. Hold on. 16 more subscribers, and we can do a new emote.
We can do it. Could we sub out ones that we already have?
Probably, but that wouldn't get us more subscribers, Mike.
True.
I know. I was just saying.
Don't give them. Never
So I definitely think that should be the next one because we would use it a lot, I believe.
Yeah, especially with we're lucky enough to talk about.
Yeah, perfect. All right, so that was 24th, and that was Inverse Paradox. We'll move on to number 23, and that is Team 525.
From Cedar Falls, Iowa, we have Team 525 Swart Dogs, finalists of the Great Northern Regional with a record of 13-5-0. 525 ended up in the rank 2 spot after a battle through quals where they would captain the second alliance with 3750 and 5638. 525's robot features a cascading elevator that flawlessly places cubes on the scale with precision. After a hard-fought battle in finals, they would eventually lose, but not without a wild card draw. They'll be attending the half champs in Detroit.
Going for it.
I just tried. I don't know.
I know.
What are you guys talking about? I feel like I'm out of the loop already.
So half chance.
Mike and Pauline have their own inside jokes already, Justin.
Yeah, right. I love it.
Yeah, we're just slowly just work you out of the show.
I love inside jokes. I hope to be a part of one someday. So I think half champs would also be kind of a cool emote to have too.
Emote, by the way. Emote.
Emote, whatever.
Emote. What?
All right.
Should we go to
the Swart Dog. Yeah, for sure. Swart Dogs. I'm glad to see them too. They're one that have kind of really come and gone on the top 25 for years as well. So, congrats to them.
For sure. All right. With that, let's go to the number 22 seed, Team 27.
From Clarkston, Michigan, Clarkston High School, it's Hall of Fame Team Rush. A record of 7-7 overall with the quarterfinals at the Central New York Regional. So before starting their grueling district event schedule in FIM, they brought their machine to Central New York. Well, they weren't the best robot there. They wanted to let up at their machine and will no doubt be ready to go at their first district event, which will be in Milford next weekend. The true game changer potentially for 27 is their buddy lift. They have kind of front forks just like 118 and 67 that we've seen so far. They'll no doubt make some changes and begin earning the extra ranking point, as I mentioned, hopefully in a few weeks at Milford. So good luck along the way to Team Rush. And I was actually at Central Valley, or Central New York, sorry, to see them up close. And the robot, again, certainly not, I think, where they wanted it, but I think they have a lot of the key pieces to really, iterate and get the robot ready for FIM, which everyone knows is a gauntlet for sure.
Justin, can I ask you, man? Like, I know you sell their bot, and I love 27, and I have a lot of respect for Kyle. So I'm really surprised to see them on the top 25. Obviously, Michigan always comes strong with voting for things, but I don't think they would be on my top 25 or even 50 list, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly struggled all weekend. You know, going into the event, looking at the team list, I was like, yo, 27 will be there. It'll be interesting to see what they have. They have a good machine, and I was surprised to see, just to be honest, how much they struggled. So, I think that they're a team that works extremely hard, and I was a bit surprised to see them on the list, but they, they're a Hall of Fame team with a lot of
we don't vote.
staying power. Yeah, right, exactly.
They are the kind of team, though, their second event, they come back so hard.
Oh, yeah.
And they come back really good. Yeah.
For sure. All right. So moving right along to the 21st ranked team this week in team number 2046.
From Maple Valley, Washington, and Tahoma Senior High School, it's Bare Metal with an overall record of 18-0. Yes, our first undefeated team of the season that we're going to talk about. They were the winners of the Clackamas Academy District event.
Depends on which banner you got.
Depends on which post you're from, I guess. So I know somebody was asking for them to be in the top 25. So Bare Metal is here. They went 12-0 in the qualification matches, and they selected 45-13 and 64-65 to their alliance. Bare Metal can place that cube in auto and run scale or switch cycles quickly and efficiently, and they can climb really well at the end as well. So they had a very super impressive outing so far. And then I'm not sure. Just from my limited knowledge as to why they're not hired, people can help us out in chat. Just from the couple quick matches I watched on the Blue Alliance, is maybe because they place a cube in the switch and not on the scale in Autonomous, if that's accurate. But
be honest with you, we've been getting more.
For making it here.
We've been getting more PNW people, but PNW I think has been underrepresented. I think with us, and we're starting to get more and more guys. So if you're from PNW or really like this team, make sure you start telling people to get out and vote.
Was that really fast for anybody else, or does Tyler just talk really fast?
Maybe both.
Oh, he's fat.
Tyler's multitasking.
There you go. So I was talking with somebody in the chat a little bit before, and I was just saying how historically PNW has been underrepresented historically in the FRC Top 25, and the only way to fix that is for those that are in the Pacific Northwest to get the word out of the FRC Top 25 and to encourage more voters. Because you guys can help represent your area a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you saw in the chat. Apparently, it's Clackham's.
So okay, do you guys know the story behind this?
Somebody doesn't know how to talk.
Okay, yeah. So the blue banners that were given to the winning teams were misspelled.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why they're trolling you a little bit on that.
Clackam's.
Yeah.
So is it not really Clackam's? That was just the joke.
Yeah, that's the joke. It's Clackamas, but the blue banners say Clackam's.
Maybe instead of Justin muted, it can be inside jokes Justin is not involved in. That'd be cool.
Banners and plaques, apparently.
So does anyone know how to actually say it? Is it
Clackamas? It's Clackamas.
Okay.
Clackamas.
Cool. Great.
Okay. Justin, remember we got ripped apart. Yes, we did on some of these, and we just don't know how to say.
Yeah.
We could do an upstate New York trivia. Nobody would know how to say things up here. So.
Yeah.
No idea.
Justin lives in Chile?
No, it's Chile. We're spelled the same.
Well, by the way, that's like the worst part of being a game announcer is trying to figure out city names from other places.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was the 21st spot, and that went to Bare Metal 2046. In our 20th spot, it'll be Team 1519.
From Milford, New Hampshire, we have Mechanical Mayhem with an official play record of 14-5-0. They ended up as rank 22 in Bedford's Week 0 event, but shot up to rank 1 at the WPI District event and became finalists for the NE District. 1519 eventually choose 78 and 3466 to join their alliance. During finals, you could catch the robot executing their one-tote auto. I said tote, I meant cube. On the scale and taking control of their scale right from the start. The robot features a light and high-powered cascading elevator that places cubes with such exact measure that they earn the Innovation and Control Award as well.
Paulina said the wrong game piece one time.
So the only drawback of going to an event this weekend, like I mentioned, I was at Central New York. You didn't get a chance to really watch many other events, but 1519 and 78 together must have been some great events to watch, or some great matches to watch. Airstrike has been good for quite a few years too.
I think, on a side note, to cross promote, I think Intimidation, that's an awesome pun. And then what's the New England district one?
Any way you want it.
There you go.
Which
so
doesn't
these are
just,
great ways
but
to kind of-
I just want to confirm that's not the New England District one. That's the Northeast U.S. one.
Northeast,
Thanks for
yes,
walking into that trap, Mike. I appreciate it.
I did. Well, if you look at the map that you posted, you know it's New England. I just did the wrong one.
Yeah, it also has Mar too.
That's the way you need it. Great. That'll be in my head the rest of the night.
There you go.
Sweet.
When you wake up. So these are great shows to watch to kind of catch up. If you weren't able to catch really much of what happened, you can check those out and really kind of get a closer look at those specific areas.
Yeah. All right. Want to go to 19?
There you go.
All right. In the 19th spot, we have Team 399.
From Lancaster, California, Lancaster High School, it's Eagle Robotics, 12-3 overall with the winners of the Utah Regional. So Eagle Robotics' blue and orange machine was on switch duty during the elimination rounds at 1678, mostly took care of the scale. And Eagle took control of the opponent's switch, and in a few matches placed mountains of cubes in the opponent's switch, which kept the opponent's score super low in the elimination rounds, as low as 171, which in this game is pretty darn low. It's a great start to the season for 399. You can catch them again, and Tower actually have a chance to see them live in just a few weeks in Las Vegas. So congrats to 399 Eagle Robotics.
Awesome. That team. So I've had an opportunity to meet some people from the team. The person I know, great guy Dave Vorchek, is not on 399 anymore, but used to do a lot with them, and he's actually running a new regional this year. So shout out to Dave for that. But a great team. I've loved some of their robots from the past years. You guys remember in 2014 they had a really good catching robot. I don't know if you guys remember that or not, but like I thought that robot was super cool, and their team has been really neat to watch over the years.
Yeah, I love 399. I always see them at California events. I'll see them at Aerospace Valley. I think they're competing there as well. And it's always cool seeing the robot. They're always so consistent, and they're such nice people. It makes me really happy seeing them on the list. Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say this 18th team is a newcomer to the FRCTop 25. In the 18th spot, we have team number 4539.
All right, here we go again. So I'm going to say it two different ways. From Frazee, Minnesota, and Frazee Secondary School.
It's got to be right.
I know, I covered it. It's Chaotic Robotics with an overall record of 16-1. They were the winners of the Great Northern Regional. So, Justin, you nailed it. Like, this is why we love doing the show. Like, I have never heard of Chaotic Robotics before, but since being on the show, it's going to be hard to forget them. So they went 10-1 in qualification matches, which landed them fourth, but they were selected first overall by 51-72, and they added 61-75, and they just dominated in the playoffs, putting up scores between 336 and 492. They're playing back-to-back weekends, so we'll see them this weekend at the Lake Superior Regional, where they look to kind of really expand on that early success. So congrats to them and good luck. I love when teams kind of get on that. It can be hard if you have like kind of not a great weekend. You have to compete back to back because you have all these changes to make. But if you go out and you nail it in week one, like I think it's so great that you can kind of just ride that wave into week two and just come out lights ahead of teams that are like just unbagging the robot for the first time.
Yeah.
So congrats to Chaotic Robotics.
Cool to see some Minnesota, at least one Minnesota team make the. I think we're going to see at least one more make the top 25. They're an area that I think there's a lot of teams there, but I don't know if Minnesota has always been associated with the highest quality robots, and they're starting to really get up to that point. So it's really cool. For me, from Wisconsin, it's cool to see these Minnesota teams really start to rank up a lot.
Mm-hmm. For sure,
Yeah.
Especially in just the dense field of those regionals up there, just because they have these huge mega regionals,
They do, yeah.
So it's cool that they're really sticking.
Don't they have like two regionals the same weekend, like in the same place?
They have two. They have that twice actually. So they have the double decker, which is next week in Duluth, which they have two regionals there, and then week 6, I believe it might be 5 this year. It's been 6 for a long time. They have the regionals that are across the street from each other at University of Minnesota.
Wow.
So really cool.
Yeah.
Wait, the double decker meaning what?
The convention center is called like the Duluth Entertainment Convention Center, I think. So that's the deck part. So it's called the double decker because of that.
Okay. So there's just two separate regionals going on at the same time.
Yeah, so it's in one venue. So it's in one arena, and they split it off. So there's I'm going to be honest, I love Duluth. and the event is very well ran. I'm not a huge fan of the event necessarily because there's a lot of sound spill, and maybe that's just old man Tyler MC complaining because he's on the field or has been before. But the events are super cool, and like the people that run them, Lori and Yoji and everybody else that has a lot to do with that is amazing. And Mr. Lawrence, I don't know why I'm blanking your name, Mark Lawrence, who's a Woody Flowers Award winner from championships. Like, they do a fantastic job in Minnesota.
Cool.
So I just checked the chat briefly. Did we get a final verdict on Frazzy or Frazzy?
I think it's Frazzy. Somebody put
Frazzy.
It sounds like a slushy.
It does.
I know.
Yeah.
Frazzy.
Excellent.
So, and hey, how about Duluth getting some press coverage with the gold medal curling team from there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that was our.
Schuster.
Yeah, dude, that was. I still got to watch the DVR of that final match.
You do.
Yeah. All right. So that was our 18th team with 45-39. Our 17th ranked team is 13-05.
From North Bay, Ontario, Canada, with a record of 17-1 in the 28th season, is Ice Cubed. Not only were they district winners at the Ontario District Georgian College event, which is a really long name for an event, but they were also awarded the Excellence in Engineering Award and the best award of all, the Safety Award. The robot features a 4-bar elevator that places cubes with great ease and precision. The 4-bar gives them a unique leverage. We haven't seen a lot of teams do this yet. So good luck to Team 1305.
Pauline, I'm giving you the thumbs down for that.
Yeah.
For the Safety Award?
Wow.
You still have that thumbs up on your desk?
No, I just drew another one.
My dream is to win the Safety Award one day.
Wow.
Safety Award. So, no, really, that is a really great award, by the way. You know, it just it shows you just the culture that you're creating, you know, and that's ever so important. So congrats to them. I know they've made the top 25 here in years past. So congrats to Ice Cubed. And again, we say it every year. I mean, and we just said it about Minnesota. Ontario is so deep with teams, and the 11-14s and 2056s and the 610s and the 1241s are just raising the bar, and everybody's just rising to the challenge. So it's really great just to see these teams stick out.
Yep.
For sure. All right. In the 16th spot, we have Team 3005.
From Dallas, Texas, Emmett J. Conrad High School, it's the Robo Chargers. 3005 was 13-2 overall, with the finalists at the Dallas Regional. So 3005 is continuing to make it a name for themselves in the hotbed of competitive robotics that is the state of Texas. Still looking, however, for their first regional win in their team history. 3005, what did I do here? Oh, looks to have perhaps the best chance with their robot that they've built to play Power Up. So a few teams in FRC could have beaten 118 and 148, and 3005 made them earn the win at the Dallas Regional. So no doubt 3005 will be looking again to hopefully team up with one of those teams or take down 148 and company, as a very large contingent of Texas teams head to the Colorado Regional in just 3 weeks. So good luck to the Robo Chargers, and congrats on another great robot.
That's going to be crazy, by the way. Essentially, it's going to be this Texas rematch happening in Colorado, which is weird. But the reason Colorado had the open spots. A lot of teams in Texas, being the last year before they go districts, they filled up really fast, especially some international teams. So teams like 148 got into Colorado like 3 weeks ago. And it's so it's going to be cool, and not to mention the other teams from the local area that are going to be making a really big impact. I'm pretty sure 16-19 is there. I would assume so, but it's going to be a great event.
Awesome, cool. I didn't know about it. I didn't know there was a big draw to try to get in there before it got closed off.
Makes sense, though.
Yeah,
right?
It does.
All right, so moving along to the 15th ranked team number 1360.
From Oakville, Ontario, Canada, and Oakville Community First Robotics, it's Orbit Robotics. With an overall record of 17-1-1, they were the winners of the Georgian College District event. So after 12 matches, Orbit Robotics found themselves at the top of the leaderboard at 11-0 with a 2.58 ranking score average. They would go on and select 1305, who we just talked about 2 teams ago, and 68-64 and head to the playoffs. After a tie in their very first match, they would win the next 6 straight, scoring as high as 456 on their way to the gold medal. So congrats and good luck going forward at the York District event, and then on to the Ontario provincial, right? Provincial champs.
Provincial championship.
Provincial.
There's no way I'd be able to pronounce that. So.
Provincial.
Provincial. Okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
Yes.
So congrats to 1360 Orbit Robotics. All right. So that was the 15th spot. In our 14th spot, we have Team 4476.
We have Team Waffles from Kingston, Ontario, Canada. With a record of 16-2-0, they ended the Ontario-Durham districts as both event winners and chairman's awardees. I love me some Kling Bling. 4476 ended quals in rank 2, where they were chosen by 610 and would later join 6110. 4476's robot features a giant arm that reminds us it's not just an elevator game. Their intake appendage also allows for some insane score angles that we saw in the finals matches.
Perfect. Where are we? Oh, okay. So the Waffles are an amazing team. Like the Bibics on that team, they're just so great and they're so fun and they just like love robotics and love building robots and just having a great time. And I'm just so happy for them. They've worked so hard over the last couple of years to get where they are right now.
Yeah.
And it's been so great just watching kind of this ever so steady climb where they're just more and more appearing in the top 25 and like more and more becoming that team that teams want to play with and be with. So congrats to them.
They really remind me of the Novaks. So like robotics is like a family thing. Like it's just what their family does. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I'm friends with Christine on Facebook and just like seeing like the pictures of like the little waffles and like at like Lego League and stuff like that. It's just so great. It's so awesome. And like this is what like robotics is all about right there. So
they're some of the sweetest people.
They really are.
All right. In the spot 13, we have 2848.
From Dallas, Texas, Jesuit College Prep, it's the All-Sparks, 12-3 overall with the finals of the Dallas Regional. So it's weird how this has played out. Like I've had all the Texas teams. Mike's had a few Canadian teams. It's very strange. So I feel like all I'm doing is talking about Texas teams.
Very by coincidence too.
Yeah, it really was.
So 2848 is fresh off a trip to Einstein in 2017, as well as a regional win in 2018 began with another strong performance at the Dallas Regional. The unique hybrid intake with both kind of side intake wheels and a top roller combined with a wicked fast elevator really made them an effective scoring machine. So 2848, like I mentioned, is going to join that Texas invasion to the Colorado Regional in just a few weeks. And good luck to 2848, the All-Sparks. So they're a team that's just been on fire. It just like we were talking about with 1114 2056, kind of raising the bar in Canada, 118 and 148, have all these teams that are also, 2048, 3005, Texas Torque, a lot of other teams are just trying to get up there and kind of take that top spot away from them. But 2048 is a powerhouse in their own right for sure.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Tyler.
I was just going to say, and just knowing, that's a big thing for Greg Nadell's team that he's on from Rev Robotics, and I know the passion that he puts into his team, and that really shows, and it's starting to really just keep barreling and growing, right, Mike?
Absolutely, yeah. It's just, we've been talking about the All-Sparks now, I think, for the last probably, season and a half or so. Like, just over and over and over again. So it's been great watching their climb as well. Sweet.
All right, ready to move on?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. One of my favorite teams in the 12th spot, team number 359.
From Waialua.
Waialua.
When Glenn did his interview and he just makes it sound so effortless, but we just struggle. But anyways, it's the Hawaiian kids with an overall record of 13-4. They were the winners of the Festival de Robotique, the regional there. So like Ryan and Team 115 earlier, their competitions kind of started off with a little rough for them as well, as many of them had to start talking to the police, but for also bad reasons, because they unfortunately had their van broken into and a lot of property stolen out of the van. So like the resilient and amazing team that they are, they didn't let them stop them. It was a huge distraction going into the regional. But they went on to grab that number 2 seed and were selected first overall. So they went down in quarterfinal match number 1 and then again in finals match number 1. But they didn't let that adversity stop them either. So congrats to them on the win. Good luck back in Hawaii. Then they're going to be back in Canada and then on to Houston. So a couple things we want to mention here while we're in talking about 359 and then being selected first overall. They were selected by a team that we will not see in the top 25, but we felt it was worth mentioning, and that's Team 3990. That's Tech for Kids.
Tech for Kids.
Yeah,
They were close, but yeah.
very, very close. But they took that number 1 seed there in Montreal. They had a sorry, I'm just pulling it up. An overall ranking
They were
of
undefeated.
9-0.
I know. Yeah, going in.
A 9-0 and a solid 3 ranking score for them, and just an awesome showing for them. So congrats to them. I just wanted to mention that. And then secondly, I just wanted to talk about Glenn, and just this amazing honor that he's had right now. And I don't know if somebody can talk about it better than I can, or wants to jump in about kind of this. It's not competition, but kind of thing that he's been honored in.
Yeah, I can definitely jump in for that. So,
Sure.
yeah, so and I'll see if I can bring it up as I'm talking at the same time. But Glenn was nominated for it's a teacher, essentially a Teacher of the Year award of the world, essentially. And there was, I believe, originally a top 40 nomination, and he has been broken into the top 10. And this is I forget the foundation name. It's ran by Bill and Melinda Gates. That described through. So I'm gonna try to bring it up here because I know it's not that far in our Facebook history, but Glenn essentially has made it to the top 10 of that. And if you see the video and you hear the story, it is emotional. You can see the passion he brings in. And I've known Glenn for a really, really long time, as many have said. Glenn's the reason essentially I went to China this past summer to go with their off-season events and help out. So I'm very indebted to him and everything that he's done. But from the state of Hawaii, and not just Hawaii, but, the world of FRC, right? They're a champion chairman's team. They have a huge, huge VEX program as well, too. To me, they're the complete package, and Glenn is 100% the real deal, and just a genuine man in general, too, that just really brings just a lot of passion and emotion to me. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, it's huge. He's in the top 10 of the whole world that has been nominated. And it's like chilling to think about an individual like this, right? So what he's done for this state of Hawaii, how many people he's directly impacted, and then how many people he's indirectly impacted, right? So he has like all these high school students, they go on into different parts of the state or the world, and then they impact people. It's just crazy to think about, like the thousands of people that have been impacted by Glenn.
Yeah, and I was kind of lost in the chat, so if I repeat something you guys already said, I'm sorry. But the fact that, so Mike mentioned he's the only American in this top 10 list. I don't think last year in the same top 10 list there were any American teachers, which is absolutely incredible. And that's why last year I felt like it was such a travesty that the Woody Flowers thing ended up being such a mess, because he was just so deserving to win that award, and he just should have been there and was able to get it.
Yeah, for sure. Glenn is one of the best mentors I've ever met. I got the chance to meet him my first year mentoring, and he gave me so many tips. That's what I love most about him, and that's what makes him such a great teacher. He gives you all the resources you need to empower yourself to be that great teacher too, and I just love that so much.
Yeah. He always sees us, just in passing at championship, because that's really whenever we see him, just a huge smile. Hey, Mike. Hey, Justin. How you doing?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
He's just so
great person.
Global Teacher Prize, by the way, is what it's called.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. So, again, congrats to the Wine Kids. That was our 11th place team there. So, or our 12th place team. Yep. Sorry.
The other was already leaked. Don't worry.
So our last team before kind of our mini break here is Team 340.
From Churchville, New York, we have GRR, aka Greater Rochester Robotics. They have an overall 16-2-0 for the 2018 season and are the regional winners for Central New York. I'm not even going to try to talk about the robot. I won't do it as much justice as Mike and Justin. Anyhow, what do you guys think of this stellar robot?
So if you're new to the top 25, 340 is Justin and I's alumnus team. So we are neither part of that team no more, but we're still obviously heavily interested in. And Justin, you still have lots of friends on the team. We both have lots of friends on the team, but you kind of have visited the shop throughout the season. So you can go ahead and kind of talk about it, since you are also at Central Valley.
Yeah, I'm at 3015 now, but 340 is always the team that we lean on if we need anything. Welcome to Germar is what they always say every time we show up and we need parts or anything. But yeah, I mean the robot is absolutely incredible. Their drive team is wicked smooth. If you leave them alone to fill their vault, they can do it in sub 50 seconds. It's probably close to 40 seconds. Their elevator is super fast, and they're really smooth, and they're so deserving of the win they got at Central Valley or Central New York. I'm gonna say Central Valley about 10 more times, I think.
Yeah.
But this robot was incredible, and I think they deserve it. It's a great robot, and I'm really excited to be able to compete with them at Finger Lakes in a few weeks.
Yeah, it was cool. I was watching online. It was just great to kind of see the success they had, and it's a team that it goes out and does their part well. Like they just, like you said, a good elevator and able to put cubes in the switch of the scale very easily. So that's another thing I forgot a whole about that until you said that. The kind of the saying in Rochester is whenever you need to ask for a part from another team, it's always like their school and then add Mart at the end.
Yeah,
like Penfield Mart or
Penfield Mart.
Germart or Ringler Mart, whatever it is. So that's kind of the joke that we have around us, and that's what's great about having so many teams in one area. You can just with a text, you can get a hold of 5-6 different teams to see if somebody has what you need.
Yeah, the Rochester FRC community is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah,
I just want to put up. I don't know if you guys see the match, but this is a match that had a ridiculous amount of fouls.
Oh yeah, it was 700 or something.
3 or 4. Yeah,
because that robot got stuck underneath the scale and just
robot.
Oh no.
The robot that tried to come and rescue the other robot from under the scale also got stuck.
Oh no, I didn't see that because it's on the other side of the field.
It was the highest scoring FRC match in history.
Who cares? Penalties don't matter.
Okay, so quickly, we're gonna take a quick break right here. We're gonna open up our. I gotta switch to our. We're gonna open up our giveaway here, correct, Tyler?
Yeah, give me just a second so I can prep that.
So while you're doing that, I pinged Eugene, who's in our Discord, and he's from the Blue Alliance, and I was just wondering because what's kind of the average match differential in points was, because it just, when you see these scores, the scores don't come out as close as the match seemed, right? So he got back to me within minutes with some data. So the average finals match differential was 114 points. The average semifinal difference in scores was 142 points. The quarterfinal differential was 137 points, and the differential in a qualification match was 155.
Yeah.
So it's just I just don't know how I feel about that. Maybe it could be more of a topic for Fun After Dark or something, but go ahead, Justin.
I just, I was and still am a big fan of this game, and I watching it live. Central New York, I didn't have to do much with Team 340. They're a well-oiled machine at this point. So I just was able to kind of sit there and hang out with some 340 alumni and watch just a ton of matches. And it was fun to watch. I loved watching each and every match. But after the first 25 seconds, you didn't really have to look at the score anymore. It was over. You knew who was going to win. At that point, it was just watching the robots and seeing the robots lift stuff, and it was still exciting to watch. But the score was very, very rarely in doubt after the first 25 seconds.
So is this like a 2015-esque type game you're saying?
It's very, very similar. I mean, it's just there's not much. When your average match differential is 114 points, there is not much. That's 3 climbs. 90 points doesn't cover the match differential.
That's true.
So it's just it was over. Every elimination match certainly that I watched, if you had the lead coming out of autonomous, you put 2 more cubes up on that scale, it was over. There was no coming back.
Yeah. So like I said, that could be another topic that we can dive further into later, or into Fun After Dark or something. But I just wanted to mention that while we had the viewers here. So.
All right, we are ready to start doing that giveaway, so let's go ahead and set that up. Once again, you have the option, or the opportunity, I should say, to win these 4-pack of Bat Hawks, and we've been getting lots of winners from 1720. A lot of people purchasing these and raving about how awesome these are, so make sure you check them out. They're being sold on AndyMart currently, but you can win yourself a set of it right now, and all you got to do is make sure you either follow the channel, or if you subscribe, you're going to get 5 times chance. Somebody's typing. It's really annoying. I'm sorry. You get 5 times. Really hard to talk. 5 times chance to win for that as well. So what you got to do right now from 1720, go ahead and type in ready to go. One word, ready to go. And that is your opportunity to win this giveaway. We're going to give this away after the number one team's been announced, so make sure you stick around after that. And do that. So thank you to everybody who is subscribing, and thank you everybody who is following. We have been increasing dramatically. It's been amazing to see the last few months. So we're going to let that spam and chat. This is still going to be a little bit, guys, so keep in mind the giveaway is probably going to be about 20 minutes from now, so you have some time. But ready to go. To answer a question, by the way, ready to go is READYTOGO. So READYTOGO. That's what you have to type in to win. All right, let's get going with the top 10 teams.
Perfect. All right, Pauline, introduce it.
Yeah, got it. In the number 10 spot, we have 2791.
From Latham, New York, in Shaker High School, it's Shaker Robotics. Shaker was 16-2 overall with the winners of the inaugural Central New York Regional. So a strong performance in 2016, which unfortunately I think left them out of the championship event. I remember talking quite a bit about that for how good their robot was in 2016. Led to a regional win, nice bounce back in 2017, which has been backed up by an impressive 2018 regional win in Central New York. 2791 sports a really cool double ramp, which got them 4 ranking points at 2 of their matches, so 2 additional ranking points over most other teams, and that in the end was the difference, earning them the number 1 seed over really a really strong top 5 contingent of robots in Central New York. So 2791, great machine, well deserving of the win, and they will take the field again just next week at the Tech Valley Regional. So 2791 is going to stick it out in New York. We have our own little non-district event going on. A lot of regionals in New York, but no district event. But 2791 certainly poised to be strong again at Tech Valley.
Yeah, like you said, they kind of have these ramps that get deployed, and they stay on the what's that called? The platform there, and they lift up the other 2 ones, and it's just like, it's so cool, like their mechanism that does it, and then they just rely on the levitation power up to get that, for their 3rd one. But really cool, awesome robot designed by Shaker, so congrats to them.
One thing I just want to mention, people are saying Shaker's underrated at top 10. I don't necessarily disagree with that. Top 10 is still pretty darn good, guys, so please keep that in mind. But, yeah, they have a fantastic robot. But something to keep in mind, too, from these other top 10 teams, a lot of these other top 10s have been perennial powerhouses, and that will always help out with ranking. That's just the way it is. You got to realize that. And if you don't like it, go vote more, or get other people to vote. Straight up, that's what you got to do.
All right, moving along into our single digits here in the 9th spot, we have team number 125.
From Boston, Massachusetts, 02134.
02134.
Yeah, you got it. Send it to Zoom. And Revere Brookline in Boston Latin High School. It's the Neutrons. They had a 12-4 record overall, and they were the finalists at the Palmetto Regional. So the Neutrons went beachside this past weekend to kind of thaw out from their build season up in Boston in the Northeast. And they would place 4th overall after qualification matches with a 2.22 ranking score average. They would end up captaining the 3rd alliance and would beat seeds number 6 and 2 on their way to play the 5th seed in the finals. They had some connectivity issues. I think in match 1 and match 3, definitely match 3, and just couldn't get that gold despite that in the finals. But congrats on the silver, and good luck back in the New England district with kind of some great experience headed in. So last year they competed in Florida as well last year, correct? I think. I'm not sure exactly, but they kind of do the one outside New England and then kind of head back in. So good experience for them, and then they can kind of work out those kinks a little bit, and then really start earning their points in New England district, and then eventually head to the district championship. So congrats to team 125, the Neutrons.
Yeah, 125 is one of my favorite teams in FRC. I love the robots they build. I love the aesthetic of the robot. But they have to be just like one of the most snake-bitten teams in FRC right now. They rack up finalists all the time. They just they're so good. It's just like the weirdest things seem to pop up to keep them out of the winner's circle at their district events. They were finalists at least twice, if not 3 times last year too. So
wow,
it's frustrating. It's frustrating for me watching. I can't imagine what it's like for them.
Yeah, if you're Brando or Christine or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're right. Like, I think you nailed it. Like, just over the years, just kind of
they were finalists 3 times in 2016 as well at district events.
Oh.
So it's just nuts.
Wow.
I feel like we're always talking about them as finalists.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that was number 9. Oh, go ahead. What?
No, I was just going to say there are a lot of teams out there like, dang, I wish we were finalists.
3 times. Yeah,
right,
season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so that was our 9th ranked team. Our 8th ranked team is team number 67.
Coming from Highland, Michigan, it's the Hot Team. With an overall of 11 to 8 to 0, they ended the FIM districts at Southfield as district finalists. Their robot was sure hot, as they were the only consistent climb assist at all of Southfield. The team has a lot of upside this season with an improved intake and drive practice to dominate the Michigan field at their next competition, where we're sure their robot will take over power up. I don't know what I wrote at the end there, but yeah.
That happens all the time. We go back and read, we're like, okay.
What did I write? But yeah, their robot was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've been talking about the Hot Team, obviously, forever. We were just talking here in our Skype chat that from Highland, Michigan, sometimes they kind of just move around now that, GM might be moving them a little bit, but the Huron Valley School kind of thing is always to talk about. But 67, man, just always consistently finds a way to win. One of these legendary teams that is just always up here, no matter what, just kind of despite going through personnel changes and location changes and all sorts of stuff, they just continue to build those just awesome robots. So congrats to them.
Yeah, I wrote a blog post I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago when 67 was when several teams were just getting really trashed online about mentor built. And 67 was like my first interaction with a powerhouse team. 2005 was my rookie season. That year, 67 won like 3 regionals, district chairman's award. They won the championship. They won the championship chairman's award. They did like everything you could possibly do in FRC in 2005. And like, as young rookie me was like, wow, they kick everyone's butt. Mm-hmm. They must be mentor built, right? It's such an easy way to throw shade at a team that is just dominating. I know now that 67 is not mentor built at all, but not only are they not mentor built, no teams in FRC are mentor built, right? They find the perfect balance between mentoring and students helping and working together to make great robots. And we would be so as a first community, we'd be so much worse off without these powerhouse teams. And 67 always have a place in my heart because of that. They were my team that was they were the first powerhouse I really witnessed. And I've been 67's biggest fan ever since.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we kind of, as people on 340, this kind of goes back. 340 was partnered with 67 in 2004. The year before, Justin and I both started on the team. So Hot was just such a common name in our shop just because we had a great success with them and just kind of the amazing robot they built in 2004 and then going on in 2005 and so forth. But yeah, you nailed it.
Everybody in chat was like, I was like, oh, 2004, 2005. These guys are really old.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's true. Really, people also disagree with your mentor build comment, Justin.
Oh, shocker.
Yeah,
that's right. You'll come around eventually.
Yeah, that's right. Ignorance is bliss.
Right.
Oh. All right. Well, in the number 7 spot, we have 71-79.
Rookie alert from Garland, Texas. Garland High School, it's Crossfire. 71-79 was 9-5 overall with the quarterfinals to the Dallas Regional. So this little robot was absolutely huge on the field in Dallas. I watched at least 4 of their matches, and I fell in love more and more with the robot every time.
Semi-finalist, by the way. I just want to jump in.
Even better. Yeah. My mistake. One of the most effective vault switch bots to take the field this season, and it's a true shame that their single regional event is going to be their only event of the year. There's some video playing right now that you can watch. They're an incredible robot. Their drive team must be really well practiced to control. I think it's all Omnis in their drivetrain, so they got that Tokyo drift working around the switch. They're one of the fastest robots from the pile to the exchange, and it's just a shame that we won't be able to see them at the championship event. Can we get like a top 25 wild card?
So
please?
This comes up every year, yeah, and I think it may have started way back when Tyler was on 28-26, I think, and they didn't make championship, if I'm remembering that correctly, Tyler.
Yes, there were a couple years.
Yeah, and I think that's maybe when it started, where it's like we need like 3 slots or something for like voter picked teams that didn't qualify for championships but really should be there. Mm-hmm. And it would be great if we could see something like this maybe take place. But yeah, you're right, dude. Listening to PJ and Ryan, right? That's who did
Ben and Ryan. Yep.
Ben and Ryan. That's right. Ben and Ryan on Game Day Live on Sunday. Just hearing, they were just like, whenever 71, 79 was up, it was just like, oh, here's our favorite team coming up right here. And really made some great impressions and their one and only, unfortunately, event out here.
Yeah. So someone posted in the chat that their drive team was formerly the highest ranked team in Vex driver skills in the world last year. So no surprise that those skills have obviously translated really well to FRC.
Yeah. So it would be cool. Maybe Frank will, if we get enough people kind of asking Frank, maybe it'll happen.
Never know.
So crazy seeing the number in 7,000.
I know.
So
oh my goodness.
I remember when 1,500 level teams were like, insane.
My freshman year, I think it was 800.
My freshman year is 3,000.
Wow.
Dang.
Rip my life.
Goes by so fast.
Yeah.
All right, so moving along to another well-talked-about team in the FC Top 25. Sixth spot, we have team number 5172.
So from Greenbush, Minnesota, and Greenbush Middle River High School, it's the Gators with an overall record of 15-2. They were the winners at the Great Northern Regional. So I'm just going to list some stats for them because I was just really impressed. So they seeded first with a 3.09 ranking score average. So they were obviously averaging 3 ranking, whatever. They were 6-0 in the playoffs. Their lowest score in the playoffs was 336. They placed cubes on the scale and auto. They can lift 2 robots and themselves at the end. Awards, yeah, they definitely got some this past weekend. They had the Woody Flower. In addition to winning, they had the Woody Flower Finalist Award. That was Mary Anderson. They had Volunteer of the Year Award, which was Russ and Mary Anderson. So we can maybe talk about that, how they got the same award. Or they won both. They were, like I said, the winners, and they got the Excellence in Engineering Award. So a huge event for the Gators out in Minnesota, or from Minnesota, and definitely a team we'll be watching all season. And good luck at the Medtronic Regional later this month.
I just want to say something on the Gators. So when I was on Wave, we were alliance partners with them in 2014, which was their first year, which we're starting to date teams again. And like I could tell, like, that robot was a rookie robot. Don't get me wrong; like they were really, really good for rookies, but like, you could just see that they were going to start to get that spark. Like there's some teams you can see, you're like, man, I know they're going to be good a few years from now. And in 2016, they were definitely one of the best teleyacht robots in the game. Very similar to the Theory 6 1241 that year, and they had a little bit of down year this year, but it looks like they're back in full force, and I have no doubt they're going to be making a strong run in championships.
Yeah. Huge outing and awesome robot they got so far. Sweet. So moving on to our top 5. We're going to kick it off. A team is 610.
610, the Crescent Coyotes. 610 competed this week at the Durham College District event in Ontario, Canada. 610 went undefeated with an 18-0 record this week, another undefeated record. 610's unique robot featured one of the fastest short robots, proving that this isn't just a tall robot game. 610 would eventually end quals in rank 1, where they picked 4476, and 6110, where they won finals 2 with a whopping score of 483.
Fantastic. So yeah, 610 going undefeated. We talk about this every year. That's why we like to highlight undefeated records so much. It's so hard in FRC to go undefeated. There's so many little things that can crop up during qualification rounds, especially. So going undefeated is truly impressive anytime it happens, regardless of the game.
Did they change their name again? Because weren't they like the Coyotes once, and then they were Crescent Robotics, and now they're Crescent Coyotes?
Yeah, I'm just as confused as you.
I mean, I love the team, but it's confusing.
Get that branding right.
They're working on it.
I think you nailed it there, Pauline. It's really great to see, kind of this wide variety of robots that we're seeing, styles and styles of play. I think a lot of times we see so similar robots, and that's kind of what just the game creates, right? Like it's just like kind of one style, but seeing kind of how all these teams are tackling this challenge and how they're spread out here in the top 25 is really great.
For sure.
Yeah. It's cool because 4476 didn't have an elevator and 610 didn't have an elevator. I don't know what 6110 had, but it's cool to see that it wasn't what was ranking high in that alliance.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. In the number 4 spot, we have one of my favorite teams in FRC, Team 33.
From Auburn Hills, Michigan, Notre Dame College Prep, it's the Killer Bees. 33 is 15-3 overall with the winners of the Southfield District event. So 33, sporting the double reverse 4-bar. So if any Emmys out there working on linkages, the double reverse 4-bar is pretty cool. So 33 is an effective scoring machine, and it doesn't matter if it's the vault, the scale, or the switch. They can put those cubes literally anywhere they want, and really as high as their double reverse 4-bar can reach, which is pretty dang high. Their swerve drive, which lets them traverse the field with ease, lets them line up to the scale, no problem. The vault, no problem. Or 67's forks, really anything. Aside from their impressive district event, when they also picked up the Chairman's Award for a little double gold cling blang. So 33, I feel like we've taught, I don't know how many years in a row. I think Nick was in chat. He can maybe speak to this. But I feel like 33 has won their first event like 8 years in a row or something absolutely crazy. So great start for them, as usual, with 33. And you can see them on the field again in 2 weeks at the Milford District event.
So this is an epic, like the 33-67 team. It's like they're either with each other or against each other. And every year, every event we talk about, it's just so like awesome just to really kind of see how they play with and against each other. And I just kind of I didn't get a really chance to watch this weekend, but just a few minutes ago when we were talking about 67, I had them up. And just watching both of those teams, man, just unbelievable.
Nick
just
says 8 years in a row for their first event.
That's insane.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you did.
Confirming it.
Nailed it.
Oh.
Cool. So yeah, just and they 33 kind of is a unique way to like you said, the double reverse bar, just it's unique and not one we've seen too much, and it's just so cool to watch that robot just go up in the air and deliver cubes.
Yeah, it's really popular in VEX. Like those type of linkages are really, really popular. So to see it translate so effectively to FRC, that awesome. Crossover is really cool. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So moving to our top 3, we're going to talk about Team 1678.
From Davis, California, and Davis Senior High School, it's the Citrus Circuits. They had an overall record of 14-1, and they were the winners of the Utah Regional. So we saw the reveal kind of on premiere night, and it was like prefaced by saying we're already making changes. So we kind of got to see those changes here, and this past weekend. And Citrus Circuits has really just become that powerhouse team, and top 3, if not like whatever. Because they just show up each and every year, and just the consistency. We see them on Einstein every year, and just the robots they build are just absolutely incredible. So this past weekend they would go 8-1 in qualification matches, and they would pick up the number 1 seed because of that at Utah. And they selected 399, who we talked about, and 1410 for their alliance. They go for a 2 cube scale and autonomous. I think they also can do like just the 1 scale 1 switch, but they were having some trouble with the 2 cube scale autonomous. Just awesome. And I think what we'll see kind of them get better from here is just to get that they'll nail that 2 cube auto, which will be huge, and then kind of they'll just really solidify just their ramping, or lifting somebody else up with them. So I think, like you said, Justin, kind of those matches are, at least so far, kind of we're seeing in the regional level, kind of won in the first 30 seconds here. If they can get that 2 cube scale auto, it's just going to be hard to just kind of beat that with the efficiency that they have.
Yeah, and
for sure.
Their ramps are really cool, and I wish I could. One of those things that just half jumps is such a killer. I wish I could see them up close, because the big holes and the flange connection and a very aircraft aesthetic is really cool, and I wish I could see them up close.
Hey, Pauline, you're in California, and obviously 1678 is a huge powerhouse there as well too. So when you guys look at either competing with them or against them, like what is always the thing you look for in Citrus Circuits?
For California, we rarely compete with them here, actually. California is really spread out. But when we go to championships, when we compete against them, the one thing that 1678 does really well is taking another design and making it really good for their robot. And that's what makes a lot of teams great. And what we try to do is figure out how we could take what they did to make it better and make it even better, kind of thing. Like you saw in the last event, they changed their intake already for their event. And I think that's so cool and so inspiring that it makes us want to change our stuff already and get it as good as theirs so we could compete against them. Just getting to that same level is what we always try to do. Because their robots are always just so cool. Every time I see them, I go say hi to Mike. I go look at the robot. It's just awesome.
You should definitely say hi to Mike because he's pretty much just the nicest guy in the whole entire world.
Yeah, he's so sweet.
He is.
All right.
1986 is number one. That's what people are saying. Well, somebody said at least. But I think that's fine.
All right. So we always say all the drama's in the 2 spot, and that's going to go to team number 118.
The Robonauts. The Robonauts are not only known for their top-of-the-line music videos, reveal videos, but also state-of-the-art robots. They went 13-0 at the Dallas Regional. How's that shade? They're great videos.
They do.
Anyway.
It seems like you're promoting more of the music than their robot. You say that.
No, I'm saying it's so good. It's a music video. Like, okay. I remember the robot more than the song. Anyway. They went 13-0 at the Dallas Regional this last weekend and ended up as the rank 2 at the end of quals. 118 would be picked by 148 later on, joined by 2789. Their alliance dominated the field and won the competition with a score of over 400 during finals. Even though this team might experience PTSD from climbing games, we love their high-scoring, powerful cube placer. 118 also took home the Gracious Professionalism Award for always spreading that GP everywhere they go.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
that was amazing. Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible. They nailed it.
Well, it's just so great because like you can really just like, make fun of yourself, and really just say, hey, listen, like this is what happened. This is how we responded to it. And we're still okay with it. It's like it's just part of the learning process and everything. Mm-hmm. It's great. We love it.
Yeah.
Justin and I are busy trying to get this 610 hoodie.
Are you ready for number one?
Well, speaking about giveaways, by the way, we will be doing the giveaway right after the number one, guys. We're very shortly after, so make sure you stick around. And we also do have Fun After Dark coming after this with more prizes and chances for you to call in. So make sure you stick around right after this.
Speaking of 1986, did anyone see the video of their poor intake and elevator falling apart?
Yeah.
I watched the match. So it was absolutely. They'll rebound back though. They're a fantastic team.
Of course, yeah, no question about it.
For sure. All right,
take it away.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, in the number one spot we have Team 148.
From Greenville, Texas, Greenville High School, it's the Robo Wranglers, all black everything. Their robot uppercut was 15-0, undefeated, winners of the Dallas Regional. So when the uppercut video dropped, a few things stood out. 3-stage elevator, really cool, really advantageous. Cube intake was slick, but really turned a lot of heads, was the Robo Wranglers Robot Wrangler. Some were skeptical, myself included, but it's turned out to be one of the more effective buddy lift systems I've seen so far. So as they iterate on that, as well as the rest of the robot, it will be certainly interesting to track all the changes that 148 makes as their season continues. Everybody's sitting there like, wait, they went 15-0, undefeated, they won, and they're going to keep making changes? Absolutely, they will. So as I mentioned, for the all the Texas teams that I've had, which has seemingly been all of them, 148 will certainly lead the Texas invasion into the Colorado Regional, which will be their final official event till South half champs. So congrats 148 on an incredible robot and being the number one team in week 1 for the top 25 for the 2018 season.
Congrats to them, and watching 148 and just it's so great, man. They're just such a beautiful robot every year, just aesthetically, and then just watching them perform, man, it's just like just amazing, that these teams can just do this in 6 weeks, and just so fun to watch.
So this is your last chance, by the way, to get in for the giveaway. So make sure you type in ready to go, and you do have to follow or subscribe. And our subscribers do get 5 times chance. So that's the giveaway from Team 1720. Fix gears for a set of Bathawks. One thing I just want to say, so 148, our producer Nick, who usually produces these shows, is out celebrating with 148 tonight on their awesome victory. And then in 118, we talked earlier we had Adrian and one of their students. I'm sorry, I think it's Madison. I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Thank you. See, I was right. And they were talking about Colorado and like how this is going to be essentially a rematch of Colorado, and there's going to be, I think four of the teams from the finalists are going to be there, something like that, something crazy from Texas. So somebody asked in chat how many teams are going to be How many teams were in the top 25 that are going to Colorado or something? I have no clue, but I'd love to see at least 5. I think, right? So that's
at least.
Yeah,
it's probably more.
So Dallas represent, man, and it was definitely, it ended on a Sunday, which meant more eyeballs on that. So I can definitely see it getting a lot of attention. But I think the teams brought it, and the disparage those teams by any means, I think, is, in my opinion, not the right call.
And I always love kind of the short memory that all these teams have when they're kind of competing in similar events down the road, right? Like they would love to hook up again together, but things change.
Yes.
And seedings are different. So a team like 148 and 118 have a very good chance of going against each other in the finals in Colorado, and just how exciting that may be. So just because they're teamed up together at this event doesn't mean they will at the next event, and you just never know who may be seated higher than them. So it'll be really interesting to see how that regional plays out.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and do the giveaway. Once again, this is for the Bathawks that we have up on the screen. And, wow, over 200 entries this time, guys. So let's see who wins it. If it's you, Mike, we're re-rolling. You know that, right?
No.
It'll be a moral victory.
All right, and the winner...
I don't have a team to give Bathawks to.
There you go. The winner is AA2364, subscriber. Since today, I think. Following since today. Thank you so much for that. And once again, guys, you can subscribe for free. It gives Fun money to do more stuff like this. Or it's like $5 a month, guys. And we really appreciate all that. People give him bits as well. Yeah, type in Rig, please.
It's
Rigged in
ribbed
in the chat. Amazing. So AA2364, make sure you message me. First updates now either in our Discord or in Twitch here, so we can get you that prize.
If anybody would like to give away to Justin and Mike a 610 hoodie, that would be great.
There you go.
Well, just leave me out of it.
Oh, and Pauline can have one too.
What about me?
Okay, everybody can have
one. I just want, by the way, I do have a Rembrandt's polo on. You want to give a big shout out, the Rembrandt, wrong side, mirrored, I tell you, who was competing in Orlando, and they won their Chairman's Award this past weekend.
Nice.
Awesome.
Cool, guys. This was a lot of fun.
Always is.
Yeah.
All right, where are we? Oh, sorry.
We're on you.
We're good. So this was a lot of fun, and that's kind of a wrap for us at the FRC Top 25 Week 1. So great job to all teams out there that made it. And if you didn't, we look forward to maybe seeing you in the future on this list. So remember that voting will open on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern and run through Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. And make sure you get others to vote, please, please, please. And check both our website and Chief.fi for teams who are further down the list.
And with that, week 2 is ahead. What events are you guys excited for?
Oh, boy.
Justin, anything you got your eye on? I know mine.
You can go, man.
Dude, the obvious answer, Arizona North, man. Holy crap. If you have seen I need to bring this up because if you've seen the team list lineup for this, we are going to be covering this. We weren't even considering doing that many game day lives this year, but we're going to have Karthik for sure, and I think Mason, I'm not 100% sure, covering this. But look at this list on here.
Wow.
254. I start scrolling down here. Falcon Robotics, High Rollers, Crush, and I'm sorry if I missed some. Milken Knights, Taters. I mean, this just keeps going on. Coconuts. Wow.
One of my rookie teams is on there too.
Friarbots, another great team there. Who's your rookie team?
Very cool.
Charging Champions. They're a second year now, though. I don't know their number.
Wow. 6560.
Wow, okay.
How's that?
I barely know my own team number.
That's fair enough. So
I never know your team number either. I'm like 3746, 3476, 3676. What is it?
Game announcers do that all the time.
There you go. Anybody else have any other week 2 events?
So I'm really excited to see Team 323 Lights Out from Mountain Home, Arkansas. And they are going to be competing this weekend at the Arkansas Rock City Regional. So we'll get to see them there. I'm really excited to see them. Because they're kind of like a little... Oh, no, they're not like a short pop. But they are, but they're not. So
they're a compact robot, maybe, huh?
Yes. That would be, I guess.
Yeah.
Remember that time regional events were more competitive than half champs divisions?
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? These teams that deserve to be there over teams... I know they qualified through other means or whatever, but...
yeah.
It's just... that's what happens when you dilute Okay, never mind. I'm gonna stop.
No, go ahead. It's 10:33. Technically, this is fun after dark.
This is fun after dark.
Yeah.
Go.
Don't worry, that show will start soon.
Yeah, I'll save it.
I do want to mention real quick for Fun After Dark, we will be starting it just a few minutes after this. So if you guys are here, if you're not familiar, those are more, we'll say NSFW show for things where you can speak your mind very freely. Make sure you hop in our Discord, by the way. We'll be taking callers for that. So I'm going to pop in the Discord link right on here in chat. So make sure you hop into that. We are doing a special sub night, so subs will get priority to call. But get your chance in, and we'll be doing a last caller standing with the prize.
So you're saying after this is even more fun they can watch?
There's more fun.
Wow.
Never heard that pun. Anyways.
Colleen?
Anyways, good luck to all the teams competing this week. Keep an eye out for our hosts at your events, including those from our region recap who may be looking to interview you.
All right, guys, this was awesome. FRC Top 25, week 1 of the books for 2018. Wow. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thank you for all the subscribers who will keep supporting us, guys. We need more of you. Just go ahead and start telling more people about what's going on in fun. We keep growing as an organization. You keep getting more awesome content. I call that a win-win. So let people know if you can subscribe, we appreciate it. If you can give bits, we appreciate it. If you can donate, we appreciate it. If you can't, if that's not your thing, well, you're getting something for free. At least go and tell somebody about what First Updates now is. Answer a quick question real quick before we hop offline. We will be posting a top 40 list on Chief Delphi and on our, not on our website, but the top 25 list will be on there. And if you want to know your individual team placing, you can go ahead and either PM me on Chief Delphi or post on the Chief Delphi, what is it called, thread. For that as well. So we appreciate everybody tuning in for that. On behalf of myself, Mike, Justin, Christine, Pauline, and Nick, I want to thank you for tuning in, guys. Thank you to Ryan Lee for jumping in to talk about 115 and what's going on with them. Please go support them. And thank you to all of our moderators in chat. If you're watching, once again, Fun After Dark coming up in just a few minutes. Other than that, thanks for tuning in to the FRC Top 25 and the International Recap. We'll talk to you next time on First Updates Now. Talk to you then.